All right, what's up, everybody? Today is February 23rd, 2016. Great day for students. I'm basically break even on the day. I only made one trade. I'll talk about that in a second, but I'm loving stocks to trade. I hope you guys are loving it too. There's no more free trials. So, you guys who are asking, I'm sorry that deal ended. We gave you plenty of time. But Stocks to Trade is up and running. If you want more information, go to stockstotrade.com. We also have video lessons and tutorials are coming. So don't worry, we're on top of it. It's just been very interesting launching this thing because it took us like a year. But today I really want to talk about basically, what stocks are moving and kind of how to predict it. There's a lot of bullshit traders out there who trade, stocks like Google and Netflix and Amazon and GE and Bank of America every single day, and they brag about making, a 0.5%, 1%, 2%. They're scalpers, and you need a huge bankroll or you need to use leverage, and either way, it's terrible over the long term. I have never met a successful long term scalper. There's a reason why they don't show their trades publicly. I show all of my trades publicly. My millionaire students show all their trades publicly. My top students, who aren't millionaires yet, but they still show their trades publicly, even the losses, because what we do is different. It's real. There might not be a trade every single hour, there might not be a trade every single day. But when the setups are there is a fair degree of predictability. We're not going to win every time, but I wanted to show you this tweet from last night, and I said, posted a new watch list, 10 hot stocks to watch, and I gave two stocks on Twitter, and I was like, hey, check this out, EYES and PARN. And if you look at my watch list today, and we organize it by percent gain, EYES and PARN are the two top percent winners. It's not random. Okay, today's student of the day is definitely Renee Stevens. I should follow her. You should follow her too. Mirage 1925. She watched the watch list, which is what I think you all should do. That's why I send it out the night before to prepare you for potential stocks. And Renee said PARN, bought it at 286, sold it at 340. In shock, Tim, you are changing lives. I was a skeptic at first, now I'm a believer. And she also bought EYES at 580 and sold at 630. So she made a little less than 10%, but she said, great trade, thanks for the education. And I thank you, Renee. Thank you for your dedication. Thanks for at least giving it a shot. I have a lot of people who are skeptical of me, penny stocks, I'm showing giant stacks of cash. I get that. But once you start seeing the patterns and you see the stocks that are moving, it's not so random. PARN and EYES were both big movers yesterday. I actually tried to buy EYES today. I had a limit of 580. It blew through my limit. So it went up too quickly. I did not execute. It's probably for the best because if I had bought it and sent out an alert, people would have said, hey, you bought it because all your subscribers bought it and that's why it's going up. When in fact, I did not send out any alert and EYES, excuse me, is up 25% all on its own, and it looks pretty beautiful. The uptrend here, and let me show you a multi-day chart. Those of you who have my Spikeability DVD, you know that this is straight out of Spikeability, where you have upcoming news. You have an upcoming media appearance, so never doubt the spikeability of a stock that has upcoming news or upcoming media. I just didn't execute, That's my bad. I didn't expect that it would go all the way to the mid sixes. I thought the opportunity was to buy it around 580, sell it in the low sixes. So it's actually gone up more than I thought. So congrats, big congrats to Renee. She nailed both EYES and PARN. Also got to give props to Tyson. He was in at 597, out at 625. And he says, I've changed his view and strategy on stock trading. And that's good. I know these are small gains, and I know that people are like, oh, $50 here, $100 there, $300 there. You guys are, little nothings. Well, that's how I've built my millions. And that's how my top students have built their millions. That's the beauty of being real. A lot of what you think about the stock market as taught by fake ass traders and frauds is not real, okay? We're in an industry where the vast majority of traders lie. the vast majority of traders lose money. That is why they don't show their trades. That is why they don't have millionaire students. I know that I mention this in almost every video lesson, but it's also very important for me to show you that it's real because I have to de-brainwash so many people who are used to trading Amazon. Oh, look at the VWAP. Oh, it's, gone up for $1 on a $200 stock. Like, it's so bullshit out there. And it's tough for me to cut through that. But I think gradually, once you see enough of these, how did I know that these were going to be the top 2% gainers? You can see this. This is timestamped. I sent this out last night at 10:55 p.m. You never know 100%, okay? I'm not psychic. I'm not manipulating the stock. It's not luck. It's odds and indicators. And both of these were potential buys. And, I simply missed my execution, which is okay. It's okay to miss a trade. I like the fact that, I was on the right track. We all miss trades every now and then. I also got to give props to Roe. Roe's just trading with one share, and that's fine. When you're first beginning, you can paper trade, you can take very small positions just to get the feel of it. This is all a game about being comfortable. You don't have to make trades. You don't ever have to be uncomfortable. If a stock that you're in is going the way that you did not expect, you get out. You cut the uncomfortability out, okay? Oh, look at this. I'm watching in the background right now. Eyes just keeps going. Freaking beautiful. This is actually going to make it for a great short, but I love the fact that this upcoming media play really works, and this is straight out of my new Spikeability DVD. So very exciting stuff there. Also, I got to give props to Akuma. He says he watched my How to Make Millions DVD, and he just started last month, and he's up $528 in 3 trades, and that is fantastic. You don't have to trade that much to make a lot when you know the right indicators. This is why I don't trade stocks like Google and Amazon and Netflix and all these stocks that CNBC and the Street.com and Bloomberg and Wall Street Journal and the vast majority of traders think that you should trade. First of all, most of the traders who trade those stocks are getting crushed because of HFT, high frequency trading. Humans cannot compete with algorithms. So most of all the big time traders I know are hurting. So the people that are making money are these little scalpers, and they're risking like $50,000, $100,000 to make like 1,000 or something, using leverage, using a big bankroll, and then when a stock goes against them too quickly, they lose 10, 20, 30,000. It is impossible to control the risk when you have an even playing field, especially with these algorithms, which actually probably put your odds at winning less than 50-50. It's not an even playing field. It's worse. Versus if you stick to stocks like EYES and PARN, you have the odds on your side because there are no high frequency trading. You don't have to deal with these big time traders, and frankly, it's a much more inefficient market. So I'm angry because a lot of people are like, Tim, you're only making 1 trade a day. Why aren't you trading more? And it's because I see opportunities and I don't force opportunities. I've never made millions, and nobody has ever made millions that I know of by forcing trades just because they're like, oh, I'm bored, let me trade. A lot of my success is due to patience. But I will tell you the stock that I am trading, which is XLIT. I've been in and out of this stock for small gains the past few weeks. But this is, I guess I got to show more than 15 days. Let me show you 6 months. This is a blatant pump. And you can see here it's up from 20 cents in late 2015 all the way up to $1. Let me move this over a little bit so you can see the whole chart. And this is a blatant pump. This is bound to crash. So it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. I'm glad that Interactive Brokers keeps having more shares to short. And, I'll just ride it out. I'm down like a penny on my position, but the odds are on my side. And when this does crash, it will drop 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% in a day or two because it is no different than the pumps that you see in the Wolf of Wall Street or Boiler Room, stuff like that. It is not a good company. And if you go to my blog, timothysykes.com, you can see that I've written a blog post about it. They actually just came out with a press release the other day saying that they're canceling some shares. And this is a tactic that has confused people for many years. Every major pump and dump has done this. Sponge Tech, BGBR, just to name 2 off the top of my head. They've allegedly canceled the shares so that it's like, oh, the CEO is taking a hit. He's not going to have as many shares anymore. So it's a smaller company. Bullshit. Bullshit. The shares probably go offshore or somebody else's name. It's all gray area and it makes it tough to, prosecute this stuff. But let me just show you what Sponge Tech is at. SPNG. I don't even think they're in business anymore. I think our server is gonna have a tough time trying to find them. Let me go. Yeah, Sponge Tech is not a valid ticker. Let's see. I think maybe they're trading at like 1/100th. Sponge Q. Oh, one. What is this? So it's not 1/10th of a penny. One thousandth of a penny. Um, and this is, a blatant pump and dump. BGBR was another one, Big Bear Mining, and they also canceled shares. And that's trading at, sorry, I don't have the best Wi-Fi here, Turks and Caicos. They're not even trading. But, you know, that's what's going to happen with XLIT. And it's kind of funny. Some people are asking me, why are there so many dislikes on your videos, Tim? Well, it started ever since I started shorting this and exposing this in late January, about a month now. The stock hasn't really budged. Despite all the pumping, it hasn't really spiked up that much. This is a classic promotion. So the odds are on my side here. So congrats to those of you who nailed EYES. It just keeps going, now up 30% on the day, or PARN up 10%. But this is my play for the day. And, I'll continue building my short position because, again, it's not like trading Netflix, Amazon, Google bullshit. And that is why I show all of my trades. I can guarantee you, this is how cool it is. I don't know exactly when it's going to happen. If I did, then I would be a lot richer. But what I do know is that this pattern works again and again and again and again and again. And I've seen it hundreds, not really thousands of times, but hundreds of times. You see, here's another pump, GNIN, and it would go up every day and then it crashed. This is, how a stock should go up when it's being pumped. XLIT can't even manage that much of an uptrend. There was a 45,000 share bidder today. And so I also have some live videos on this. But if you Google this blog post called 4 Live Penny Stock Trades on Video, my tribute to a true legend. This was Mr. Zweig, who died. You can see this pattern. And I think that, this was his penthouse in the $70 million penthouse at the Pierre Hotel. But he was a big, trader, and I think he would really appreciate these live videos that I did. So it's the same pattern. Pump and dumps usually crash the same. It's kind of cool. So XLIT is my play. It's just a waiting game, and that's fine. I'll continue adding, to my shorts. I hope the pumpers get it up and spike it even more. But this is my kind of a play, and big props again to Renee. She gets it, and I like that she took profits. On EYS, I should mention this. She bought it at 580, sold it at 630. EYS is now, at 690. So theoretically, she sold it too soon, but it's okay. It's okay not to trade, and it's okay to take a piece of the trade. You don't have to be in it the whole time. This is best case scenario. Congrats to all the longs. There's a lot of wannabe short sellers who think, oh, it's just going to be on HBO. It doesn't deserve such a huge run up. Well, keep thinking what you should value news based on. Okay, there's a lot of wannabe shorts, and they think that the stock should go down for a certain reason, and they're not using historical norms. They're using their gut, and they're using basic laziness and ignorance. I instead like to buy these kinds of plays based on historical patterns and experience. So you can either follow your gut and laziness or historical stats and experience. Totally your choice. Whatever you choose, I'm fine with. But so far, I'm happy. I'm content with just one position. Almost got EYES. It's okay to be an almost trade. I'm much happier that it went up rather than me almost getting it and coming down, because I was right about the stock. And whether I got executed or not, remember, this year I'm trading with such a small account, it doesn't even really matter. Although I am up nearly 40% now in under 2 months, where the overall market is down roughly 10%. So Great day all around. I will see you guys in the chat room. Thank you.